CTV National News with Lisa Leflam.
Good evening. We begin with developing news from the scene of that collapsed mall in Elliot Lake, Ontario, where the search for survivors abandoned earlier today is now back on after the Ontario Premier personally intervened. Townspeople held a candlelight vigil tonight for those still trapped in the rubble. One person is confirmed dead, one may still be alive, and several others are still unaccounted for. The search was suspended when officials said the building could collapse at any moment. Late tonight, though, they announced a new plan to move forward. CTV's John Venevale-Rao has the latest from Elliot Lake.
Gary Genbrin is in a hell few could possibly imagine, convinced his fiancée Lucy is perfectly alive and trapped since Saturday when a mountain of debris came crashing down on her at the Algo Center Mall. And when officials temporarily called off the rescue this afternoon, he couldn't believe it.
She's a hard-working person. Big-hearted.
Genbrin was so frustrated he wanted to go into the mall himself to look for his fiancée. And some relatives of the missing with the same idea have tried to storm the building, only to be turned back by police after it was decided at around 5 o'clock that the scene of the roof collapse was too unstable to risk anyone else's life. A heartbreaking choice that left some rescue workers in tears.
Our team is certainly not happy. I'm not happy. Nobody's happy that we have to stop work.
Earlier in the day, there were signs someone was still breathing under the huge concrete slabs that came crashing down more than 2 days ago.
We can't just let them die.
The calling off of rescue efforts sparked an angry reaction in this mining town, residents finding it impossible to believe anyone would be left trapped.
You never left a man underground, ever.
Save our families, save our friends.
At a rally tonight, some got together, including former miners, signing their names to a list, saying they were willing to risk everything to try and find any survivors or bodies still in the mall.
You let me go in there for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, move some shit, and I'll get those people out of there.
It's unclear how many people are buried under the rubble. Officials only know of 2 victims, one already declared dead, though some think several others may also be trapped under the debris.
Our best friend is there. We don't want this to stop.
And now they are at least relieved to hear rescue efforts will continue.
And rescue officials just a few hours ago were saying they were really worried that the structure could collapse on top of them, and for legal liability reasons they felt they couldn't proceed with the rescue, but they have changed their mind tonight and a rescue will resume. Lisa?
And I can see obviously enormous urgency for the community behind you, John, to find these victims. Do you see any rescue activity at the mall right now?
No, there's no rescue activity going on right now, but what you do see is members of the community here. They have been celebrating and coming out tonight to celebrating this decision to resume the rescue. And it's interesting how it came about. Apparently the head of Toronto Search and Rescue gave the phone number for the Premier of Ontario to the mayor of this community. He phoned the Premier and basically said, look, if that was your son or daughter trapped in there, wouldn't you want to do everything in your power to get them out? And the Premier has directed officials here to take another look at it, to see how they can mount another rescue. And so that is the plan. It may not begin tomorrow, the new rescue. They're working on a plan, but they will resume the rescue here. Lisa?
Dramatic late night developments. John, thank you for this from Elliot Lake, Ontario.